to see him anymore. We were sleeping in separate rooms at this point. He'd work the late shift, he'd say, and then I'd see him driving in each day at dawn.
I thought this had a really great sense of style. I thought the music in particular really stood out. It was a really great selection of music, and I thought it really contributed to the stylistic approach of the piece. There was a small issue sometimes where the voiceover wasn't quite mixed well enough with the music, but I thought that the approach of the voiceover really created a sinister sense and sort of a lot of latent tension throughout the piece that sort of set up the idea of who this guy was and the darkness that was within him. And I thought the juxtaposition of sort of mundane and normal life, and fighting with your breaking up with your spouse, your boyfriend, or having those type of issues, and sort of taking a tact that would be very dramatic, obviously for most people, sort of seeking to kill him to make sure they stay together forever. I thought it really worked well thematically and stylistically, and I thought the build up to those sequences really made a lot of sense and created a very dark sense of humor that I thought really worked with a sort of sinister undercurrent that was within the entire piece. So I ended up enjoying it. Thought it had a good sense of pacing, a good level of tension throughout the piece, and the ending I thought was striking, and it allowed you to sort of see the main character in a different light. And I thought his performance in particular did a really good job of sort of carrying that darkness in a package that you might not expect it to be within.
The voiceover was really effective. At first, it seems very relatable, a relationship breaking apart. It starts out very innocent and then slowly descends into creepy, morbid, messed up land. The music really helps with this change in tone as we slowly realize what has happened and what is, being played off as normal. The acting is really great, especially in the voiceover. It really seems very psychotic as this gets more and more messed up, from going from nostalgia to psychotic antics. So yeah, I loved the music. I loved the editing of this. Just that slow tone shift was really great, and everything came together to make that really effective. So overall, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was very creepy and sort of a morbid take on Weekend at Bernie's or something of the sort.
It's got fantastic music. It's not just great sounding music, but there's a really good job of creating an atmosphere, very kind of melancholic but also suspenseful atmosphere, bringing to the surface the emotions of the protagonist. And speaking of those emotions, I think the film really does get across a sense of melancholy and desperation in a really kind of empathetic way, so that when he does kind of turn murderous, you still sympathise with him, you still come on his side, which I think is a very interesting experience and very skillfully executed. And I think it's supported by a strong use of voiceover, which is rare. It's a lot harder to do than it seems. So I was very impressed with the use of that here. It's just a very impressive piece of work.
So it was really interesting to see the impact of both of those things, of being so distraught and emotionally unwell that, you and your partner aren't really working out, and also being so isolated, it drives you to be insane and kill your partner. So that's really fun to watch. I think this was shot really well. I think the pacing was very intense and it was interesting to watch, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time watching it. I think you used the space really well and very creatively, and made it, while it was like very limited space, at the same time, you used it in a very creative way that made it feel much bigger than it was. And the characters were really intense, and they were brought to life on screen in a really interesting way. So I really want to commend you for that. Overall, a very intense piece.
It was absolutely thrilling. I mean, the finale was amazing. Great twist. It was completely unexpected. And honestly, I was shocked when I saw the finale. I thought it was, in the first few minutes, you have the idea it's just it's a drama film, a simple drama. and then it turns out to be a shocking horror. So congratulations on that. The music was great, and we had a fantastic cinematography and also great direction. The performances were absolutely on point, and I must say, I really loved the color grading as well. I mean, overall, the production was brilliant, spot on, and as I say, the final twist was absolutely shocking.
Felt that the music composition does a great job at expressing the emotions. I think it's a stronger move as a filmmaker to go silent. The only time that we really see his partner in this bed in the guest room is kind of at the end when we come across this twisted ending sequence that kind of has this Weekend at Bernie's feel. The color grading is cold in the present, but warmer when we find these romantic romance moments brewing. You know, you kind of see our lead get to the tipping point and to the point of no return. This is about not accepting love, the loss of love. In fact, not allowing to let love go, kind of going to great lengths to keep what is lost. And in his delusions, he is left to be happy. But for us as the audience, we've just kind of witnessed him, you know, kind of become this person who's homicidal because he wanted his relationship, because his relationship didn't turn out the way that he wanted.
Telling a story in this way with the narration in this way where you start out thinking it's one type of film and it's another type of film, and then it's like slowly that slow burn, that slow reveal, that slow build up to a satisfying payoff. I thought it was really well done. Great production design. Whoever's house y'all were using, y'all really made it your own and made it come to life as opposed to just a house, if that makes sense.
It really does show how love can literally drive people crazy, which is a very great way of depicting that love can do that. It drives people crazy, even to the point of murder. It's a film, it's a cliched part of film, but this one did it really well to show what love can do to people, especially if someone's mentally unstable like this guy was. Because it seems like he didn't even consider the notion of maybe therapy. He just went straight to, I'm done being alone, and killed him. It's it made the film very impactful because you could feel the suspense building as they worked through it. You could feel how annoyed he was becoming through his narration that he was ready to say he's done with this and he's going to fix it in a non-healthy way, but fix it nonetheless.